I'm Beth Ramirez. I have been with the university for 27 years now. I was with the arts department as department chair, and for 6 years I was director of the Center for Research and Communication. In 2020, I had my first sabbatical. That meant that I had to be out of the university, and so I chose to be in Zambales, my hometown. In the same year, the pandemic hit us. To have a sabbatical in the university means you have to have deliverables, and the agreed deliverables for my sabbatical was to produce a book. But I could not sit for 1 year writing a book. Meanwhile, the pandemic hit, and there was no food, there was no transportation, and good for us, we had sources, but there were people who didn't really have access to food, and these were the Aetas. I've been seeing them since I was a child because we live in front of the market, and the Aetas would sell their products in the markets. But all these years, I never really bothered to care for the Aetas. But during the pandemic, I saw that if we had very little food, they probably don't have food at all. And so after 2 months, we were allowed to come to Manila. I went to my friends. I texted them and said, "Hey, if you have things that we can still use here, please clean your kitchen and gather all the towels and bed sheets. If you have spoons and fork or anything at all, will go a long way with our Aetas." So we would make rounds, and we would bring home things, and in the evening I would sort them out. I went to the mountains, and I also work with people with Aetas now. So we take photos of the poorest Aeta families. So I know them by face, by name. I know where they live. I know how many members there are in the family. So that's how it started. We just passed on used things to our Aetas. One day, I was sorting out for 10 families, and then I said to myself, I have nothing new naman to give. Puro mga used things na to. Then I went to sleep. And when I opened my phone in the morning, somebody said, "Hey, Beth, I celebrated my birthday and somebody gave me $500. What do you think I can do with this?" "Send it over," I said. And I bought groceries and rice and toiletries for them. So it was very nice that there were more things to give them. To look for funds was never a problem to me because people come to me, they see what I do, and they ask me, "How can I help you?" For example, I had a Vietnamese student 34 years ago, and he saw on Facebook what I was doing, and he said he's in America. He is in America. He asked, "Teacher Beth, I see what you're doing, and I'd like to help you do what you're doing. So help me support your projects." With his financial help, we were able to construct a training center for us to train the Aetas in sewing, basic motorbike maintenance, and what else? Cookery, hair and nail care, carpentry as well. And then it expanded. We had more initiatives because I'm a teacher. I saw that whenever I asked my Aetas to sign their name to receive the donations, they would get ball pen and put it in here and put a thumb mark because they didn't know how to write. And if you're a teacher and you see that, your heart will bleed. So I trained an Aeta how to teach basic literacy to them. And we had sessions every Saturday. They're old, no? And the funny thing, I got used uniforms from my friends, and every time that the lolas, the elderly, would go to the class to do literacy, they would wear the uniform and they would have their pictures taken like their students. And because they're mothers and fathers, they would bring food, and the learning was already a socialization for them. The happiest moment in this particular adult literacy that I had was on the first day, I saw thumb marks on the attendance sheet. On the second day, I saw their handwritten names. they can already write their names. Yan ang mga high points, no? Struggle. Actually, I was telling Mitch here, the struggle, I don't know when to stop. Because things come and they are bigger. I have a sponsor, Philippine Nurses Association of Metropolitan DC. They gave funds for Jetmatic hand pumps because there's no water there. They go to the river. That's where they wash their clothes. That's where they get water for their drink, etc. And by the way, that's also where the carabaos bathe. Difficult, no? So, and there were initiatives from my town where people would give Jetmatic, but how can you give Jetmatic when you don't install it? What water will come from the Jetmatic, no? In our project with the PNA, we installed the Jetmatic. So 45, no, there's another company, Arcadis, who also added more Jetmatic. So total of 45. Imagine how many families, no? Because I also have my standards. I don't just give the Jetmatic. I surveyed the areas where it will be installed, and there should be at least five houses, and in every house there are 4 to 5 families. And so when you put when you install one Jetmatic there, several families, even the dogs, even the goats, and the plants now benefit from the water. And then they were very pleased because I usually exceed the expectation of the donor. Like the agreement is to finish the project in 3 months. 1 month pa lang, everybody's already jumping in joy because they have water. And so there's always a round 2. So si PNA, the round 2 was they gave money for training. And Arcadis naman, after the Jetmatics, they also gave funds for solar lights. But they asked me, the country director asked me, what else do you need for the Aetas? And I said, the Aetas, they go up to the mountains to gather food. And it's very dark. They stay there for 5 days with the entire family. And then they carry their bananas, they bring down and from the mountains and bring them to the market to sell. I wish they had solar lights, and even in the house, they cannot afford electricity. So they granted the money needed for the portable solar lights and 20 lampposts, portable. But I'm very hands-on, so I really go there. I don't designate, I don't pay anybody to do the work. And it's really a joy to see the children already studying at night because they have light and they don't have to pay for the electricity. And because the houses are small, just one portable solar light can light up the entire house. Yeah. And then the lampposts are located in where the Jetmatics are, because there are families that are around, and so they can play ball at night because it's really much better with lights, no? The Philippine Nurses Association of MDC had a third round. They raised funds so that we could construct 10 toilets and baths and a health hub. You should come and visit us and see the toilets. And what did they use before we had the toilets? You can imagine all the grasslands, malawak. And sabi, malawak ang lupain. So, but now we had to train them how to use the toilets, and we had to tell the girls to take a bath. That's why it's not just toilet and bath, so that they can take a bath inside. No? So it's ongoing, and once the project is completed, I leave. And then another project comes. Oh, by the way, the health hub will already be turned over to the government. For myself, for my own happiness, I discovered that I can construct. Actually, I can lead the construction of these structures pala. PNA is very pleased, and they have the next project, which is construction of a 1 classroom ALS building, which will start next week. I am bringing 2 Aetas who have helped me in the projects on the 12th to receive the award, because that is what it means to me. This award is for them. This award just makes me happy that we have helped them in their basic needs. We are in 2023 and still we're addressing the basic needs of the Aetas, like what are the basic needs? Water, light, toilet, and bath. So we're happy for that. For education, we're giving them a classroom because there is no ALS classroom. They conduct the classes under the mango tree, and they just put together some bamboo so that they have tables and chairs. So it's really happy to receive this award together with them. Students and members of the university, come to Castillejos and I will show you, I will introduce you to the Aetas, and I want you to go to their farms and let us harvest their products, and let's play with the children. Come and join us.